how to initiate an action and how it works with a checklist. So, making sure important issues are taken care of through the corrective action process is integral to the PinPoint system, and it's one of the ways it's such a powerful tool. So, let me show you how to initiate an action. Let's say you have something important that you need to involve your team in and that you need to make sure it gets resolved. We're looking at the administrator, the admin home screen, and you can see the Actions button right here in the middle. Even though we are looking at the admin home screen, this Actions button is available on anyone's screen who has been allowed to create actions in their role settings. Take a look at the Turning On Features for People tutorial to learn how to set that role. So the process is the same for all levels of users in your PinPoint system. When I tap the Actions button, I see a list of all the current actions I'm involved with. And we can create or start a new action simply by tapping this Create Action button here at the top of my list, right under the dashboard. And this opens the Create Action screen. And like all the screens, we want to start at the top of the screen and work our way to the bottom. The first field is Add Subject. We want to title this corrective action. And I'm going to title it Chemical Spill in Storage Room. Okay. That certainly sounds like something that needs immediate attention. The next field is where we describe the action or the incident. So, all right, let's have some fun. Purple, smelly fluid has filled the storage room. Okay. So now I can add an image. Perhaps I want to take a picture of our purple fluid-filled room. Or I can add a file, maybe the organization's official spill cleanup policy or procedure. I'm going to skip these. Now let's work our way through these fields from top to bottom. The first field, we add our recipients. So these are people who need to be involved or aware of the situation. When I tap this button, I see a list of the people in my PinPoint system. I can choose individuals and groups. Let's go ahead and choose the people I need to participate in this action. Okay, so now we can set the priority. Basically, it's how important is this action? How quickly does it need to be addressed? Tapping on it, I can see that the options are critical, important, normal, and low. So I'd say that a room full of our spilled purple chemical warrants the critical label. So I'll select that one. Now we can set the action that's needed. What sort of follow-up do we need to resolve this issue? What kind of incident is it? So tapping on it, it's an observation, a maintenance, incident, near miss, hazard, or other. So obviously, this incident probably, probably many real incidents could fall under multiple categories, but let's pick the one that we think is most appropriate. I'm going to choose incident. So now I have the option to add my current location. And this actually adds the GPS location of where I am currently at. And this can be a very handy feature. So especially if I'm out in the field, I don't have a precise location or address maybe where I'm at, or maybe I just don't have the time. So let's switch that on. And finally, I can set a due date. How quickly does this need to be resolved? I would say that this issue needs to be resolved today. Now, to finalize, to initiate this action, to send it out, I tap the Send button. And here at the top of our list, our action list, I see our action that we just created. And you'll always see all of the actions you create and the actions that others have included you in. I can open the new action and see what the other recipients will see. Now, if I back out of this, I can open up an older action in the list, which I'm involved in. And you can see the history process here as my team and I work through this issue. You can see the team member's name, their input, and any updates that may have been made. So here at the bottom, you can see that Eric recommends replacing the seal, and then he updated this action to from incident to maintenance. So, all right, so for this, let's say that I've replaced the seal, and we can now consider this action resolved. So I simply tap respond, and here I can add the response seal replaced. Okay, and since it is complete, I can now switch the mark as complete and tap the send button. And our action has been completed and our team has been notified. So one last thing. Another way to initiate actions, a really handy way to initiate actions, is with PinPoint's checklists and inspections. So let's back out of the home screen real quick, and I'm going to open up a checklist from my on-demand library. Now, sometimes in the process of completing checklists and inspections, we identify things which require a corrective action. And you can see that each of these checklist items includes an action icon. Tapping this icon launches a Create Action screen, just like the one we just completed. However, this action is tied directly to that checklist or inspection item.